Okay, this was not on my bingo card. And I had to double check if this was correct. I had to double check and triple check. Okay? Because this is from AOC's own official Twitter account. Okay? And I wasn't prepared for this. As he goes, AOC and Donald Trump, where AOC is actually tweeting a screenshot from Trump's Truth Social. Okay? I mean, we all know that she lost a key election seat. Damn, you know it's bad when even Trump is feeling bad for me. Really too bad that AOC lost the battle for the leadership seat in the Democrat Party. She should keep trying. Someday she'll be successful. On the one hand, maybe he was being honest and sincere, or being sarcastic. Take your pick. But what I wasn't expecting was AOC retweeting that or even sharing that, okay? I mean, my goodness. And I do have to say, there's just a lot of funny things here, okay? You know? And I just want to pull this up here. Shout out to RBN, because both of you serve the same class interests. MAGA Voice says, you're showing your low IQ again. Holy shite, Donald Trump is trolling AOC. I freaking love this. Elon Musk laughing. Nina Infinity saying sarcasm. So many people doing this. Oh my goodness, come on, straight out of brain cells. Okay, who made that? That wasn't nice. Be nice. Okay. You care to explain? A broke bartender. Community Notes got this. Somebody's thanks for delivering nothing for years. It's rather hilarious. And people are also bringing up how AOC is crying after losing the vote, right? Now I have to play this because there's copyright music, but who did the AI art? Who did this? This is AOC crying. All right. Now hold on. Somebody did this as a reaction. No. Who did this? Who did this? Show yourself. Come on. Who did this? Okay, they had her eating a taco. Who did that? Who did that? No. Who did this? Answer me, damn it. Answer me. Who did this? Tell me now. But even corporate media, like so many people now are talking about, oh, AOC, how she can still be involved. Because now I guess AOC is getting her name in the papers now, even more so.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez lost a key show of support yesterday in her push to serve as the top Democrat on the House Oversight Committee next year. The powerful Steering and Policy Committee recommended Congressman Gerry Connolly of Virginia instead. While that panel wields strong influence over the party, the results are not final until full caucus votes today.
So, Congressman, let me ask you about that. AOC, obviously, she energizes younger voters. They really.
Are you energized by AOC? Type 1 for yes, I am. Type 2, no, I'm not. I wonder how many twos you can be in the chat.
They do, and yeah. even across party lines are energized by her. I know the establishment, the Democratic Party, not going to be as excited. Some of her views will be left of center of where probably the mainstream Democratic caucus is. But how does she get involved in a meaningful way? She lost the race yesterday. That certainly would have done it. But what's a good pathway forward? Because, again, the challenge for Democrats, stop firing at each other, right? And instead, figure out how to get the progressive wing, which I've said time and again, they were in many ways pretty patient during the Biden administration, going along with some bills they didn't agree with, and the more conservative to moderate wing. How do they get together, move forward with a common goal of winning elections.
I think Hakeem Jeffries is going to, the leader of the Democratic Party in the House, is going to have to figure out how to position someone like her, because you run into the inertia of Congress. On the Republican side, you have 6-year term limits for committee chairs. On the Democratic side, you do not. So people can get into the leadership position, and really there's no movement. And I think that was a lot of frustration for guys like me and others who are trying to like climb the ladder or get into positions. It just takes so much time. But she's such.
Oh my goodness. You know, I think the Democrats are realizing that their pick for the older statesman wasn't a wise choice. Now, look, I mean, to be clear here, you know, if I take 2 steps back and remove my opinions and my utter disdain for the Democrats, I mean, if I'm just looking at this from just an objective point of view, the Democrats need new blood leading them. The old guard has failed miserably. The old guard refuses to let go of power. They remain a cancer to the political party that is the Democrats. But as we have all learned throughout the last 8 years, the Democrats have proudly admitted that they are a private institution and they could pick whoever they want, whenever they want, all the time, every time. They made it clear in the 2016 primary, the 2020 primary, and in the 2024 primary. Tic-tac-toe, 3 in a row. We saw firsthand in the midterm election cycles of 2018, 2022, and yes, following into the next midterm election cycle of 2026. I mean, it's clear that they do favor the corporate neoliberal establishment picks. I mean, in the early days for Hard Lens Media, when we were interviewing people who were part of Brand New Congress, Our Revolution, DSA, Justice Democrats from 2018, 2019, you know, looking at those election cycles, and yes, even in the 2020 election cycle, their stories were all the same. The Democrats were doing everything they could to derail the progressives who were challenging against incumbents, or if there wasn't an incumbent in the race, how the Democrats were dismissing the progressive challenger over their corporate pick. And now they're seeing how, with AOC being rejected, they're like, oh, holy cow, we're losing more voters. And AOC even learned that lesson very hard in her own district, where on one hand, the people reelected her. On the other hand, they didn't vote for Kamala, they voted for Trump. 2 different things altogether.
Such a powerful voice, I think, for the party. And I think you see how she handled like the Trump Bernie voter phenomenon, about how to really talk to. I think she's trying to educate Democrats on how do you talk to people about these working class economic issues in order to bring them into the fold, whether you're in agreement on the solution of redistribution or grow the pie, democratic socialism, or a reformed capitalism. That's the argument you should have. But she's clearly very talented in understanding how to connect the working class people. So she needs a place.
Where is she for forced to vote? Forced to vote, 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 forced to vote. One more time, forced to vote.
In the party to talk about those.
So, Congressman, let's talk big.
Now, hold on. There's a little bit more to this. I know. There's a lot to break down. All right, because goodness gracious, there's a response. There's an interesting response too. Again, more shout outs to Case Study QB. I don't know how you sit through it, Case Study. I don't know how you pull it off, buddy. You're made out of stronger stuff than me. And for that, you have my eternal salute. Brace yourself.
Democratic Congressman Gerry Connolly of Virginia has defeated Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of New York in the race to become the top Democrat on the Oversight Committee. Connolly won the race 131 to 84 during a vote of the full Democratic caucus. The Virginia lawmakers' win comes as House Democrats saw many of their older colleagues ousted from committee leadership posts. But Connolly, well, he won. He's 74 years old, and he was diagnosed with cancer of the esophagus last month. He spoke to reporters about that issue.
We're looking at capability. We're not looking at age. Is somebody capable, irrespective of how old they are? And if they bring energy and enthusiasm like Angie Craig, she got elected.
Are you up for the potential combat with the Trump administration? I know you've had some issues as well.
I did it before for 4 years and bested them on a number of occasions, and I'm ready to go again.
Joining us now, president of the National Action Network and host of MSNBC's Politics Nation, Reverend Al Sharpton. Rev, thank you.
Also, hey, what better way to talk about young people than have old people talk about them, right?
as always, for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
Let's start with AOC here. This was a bit of a surprise to some that she raised her hand for this post, and then a surprise to others that she was defeated. Where do you think her political future lies? In a post yesterday, she said she acknowledged the defeat, but said she was ready to get back to work.
Well, first of all,
and also from a tweet that I saw from Savvy Sabs, there are people who are saying that AOC is saying that she will never, ever, ever again, choose a primary challenger over incumbents. Yeah, that's going to go swimmingly well.
I'm a big AOC fan in terms of how she has handled herself. I think that she has been very progressive, but also very practical in trying to get things done.
I get it. Maybe again, look, Nancy Pelosi called a squad just as a horrible insult. It wasn't as a nickname like, oh, they're together. The squad is not the squad, okay? And I get it, maybe force to vote was truly a bridge too far for them, but it could have been something. They had the army of supporters and voters. I mean, look, Trump stamps his feet and legions of voters show up. Trump claps his hands and he has people fill up stadiums. There was a point where Bernie Sanders and AOC had that exact same power. But I guess the influence of the Democratic machine is just more powerful than the votes and the influence and the energy of millions of voters that would have fought tooth and nail. Because if you look at certain pollings, there's a lot of people across the political spectrum that actually do support like Medicare for all, who are not a big fan of the healthcare insurance industry or big pharma or these ridiculous wars that we got happening overseas. Now, it is fascinating to see AOC move for this key position. It's also interesting now that there's this talk and information about AOC getting all this support now from corporate media. And I think people are realizing, especially Democrats now, because this wouldn't be happening unless somebody's giving the green light to this. Like, okay, I think we might have made an oopsie. Because, listen, everyone deserves a chance, right? No one should be dismissed. Everyone, equal opportunity all around. But the problem with the Democrats is they constantly rely on people that have been in power for decades. These same people are so insulated and so high above in their ivory tower, they have forgotten what the average person, you, the regular voter, go through every single day.
So I think her future is bright because she's bright and handled it well. I think there's a lot of emphasis on generation, and I think rightfully so, because you need a continuity of trying to make some things solid and durable for our nation. But at the same time, we should not replace.
Tried my best. Sorry I couldn't pull it through, everyone. We live to fight another day. That is true.
Age with agenda. There are young people that are just as, in my opinion, reactionary as older people. J.D. Vance and AOC's in the same generation. Mm-hmm. So I think rather than age, we need to look at agenda. I think Connolly, at 74, he has a health problem, but he has been able to show he still has the energy. And let's not forget, he is dealing with a 78-year-old president that's up at 3:30 in the morning giving delirious tweets. So what is the measure that we're going by?
I mean, a very fair point there. And I agree with you on AOC. I think she has a bright look to the future, whether that's become becoming a force in the House or even seeking other higher office. But you started to touch upon something that I was hoping we could spend a moment on, the idea of this potential generational shift for Democrats. Obviously, President Biden about to step off the stage. We have seen the sort of veteran leadership in the House step aside, Nancy Pelosi in recent years, and even now on some of these committees, there has been a switch, older members giving way to younger ones. It feels like this is such an inflection point for Democrats coming off of.
Well, the Democrats keep on losing, and there's reasons why they keep on losing. It's because they fail to take heed to people who are trying to advise them and help them out in the past. And now the Democrats are stuck with this loser scenario. Now, is AOC going to save the Democrat Party? Oh, absolutely not. No. The Democrats' downfall is finally going to happen. All right. Democrats' downfall is of their own. And yes, AOC helped contribute to that. there were times when people asked AOC to fight back. I mean, never forget how AOC, it took her a while to even say the G word, genocide in Gaza. Took a while. It happened eventually. It did happen. But it's not going to save the Democrats. I mean, AOC, the squad, this new guard, I mean, people can only be spin the eyeball for so long until they're finally like, all right, I've had enough. Because first time is the last time. You get slapped in the face. And I think we all had a lot of hopes and dreams for this attempt to reform the Democrat Party. I, for one, was foolish enough to believe in Justice Democrats and brand new Congress and our revolution and DSA. And that's an L I have to carry. Hell, I thought Bernie Sanders was ready for 2020, and I was wrong. But now to all this talk around AOC, she could save the day, or look, oh, perhaps the Democrats made a mistake. And listen, folks, like what we saw there was just more of a ceremonial process. I mean, the real final vote will take place, but I don't expect the Democrats to be changing the rules for anyone or anything. It just is what it is. And my solution is break away from the Democrat Party, because once again, they showed that they are not open for new people. And I think a lot of people ask AOC, hey, run as an independent, break away from the Democrats. And she said no, but at least she's got Donald Trump supporting her. Sarcasm detected. I'll let you decide.